The Streamlight Sidewinder, let's check it out. U.S. military has used these type angled flashlights for decades and has a side switch here. Of course, you've got your crook, got a little clip on the back. This one just happens to be LED, but typically these are incandescent. But the U.S. military continues to use an angle head flashlight, and this is the Streamlight Sidewinder. It is approved for the U.S. military. One thing that's cool about this one though is it tilts all the way to 185 degrees. So it gives you a lot of capability, and we're going to look at all the details. Plus, it goes from just your white light, and then it also does blue, red, and IR. And I want to thank Ron over at Lyonstactical for sending this light for this test and evaluation. Now the body is a polymer housing, and again, you just have this rotating head, and it goes all the way, not just to 180, but it'll also go down just a touch. So you have really great motion on either side. Here you have your mode control right here, your on and off switch. So we just click it. It always comes on the low setting. And then press and hold, it'll go up, press and hold, and then you have the 55 lumens. Now 55 lumens doesn't seem like a lot, but this is really a utility light. It's made again for the U.S. military. You don't want a lot of really bright light. It's 1175 candela. Now if it'll stay in this mode for about 10 minutes, and it'll drop down to 47 lumens on high, and then it'll drop down at 4.5 hours down to 6 lumens, and it will last in the low setting for about 200 hours. But that's on the LED settings. Now turn our light on, and then take this little toggle and pull it out and over. Now we have blue. Blue is great for tracking, especially blood. There's a lot of different purposes for blue. Then we go here, and it's the one with the little notch that comes out. This is your IR. Now you can't see it, but I pulled out some night vision earlier and I could see the IR. And then we're going to pull it one more time, and we have red. There are options where you can have green and red. In fact, there's a number of different options where you can get one of these lights to suit you. This is the military version. And it does have the red, the IR, and the blue, and then the standard light. But as long as you're turning this in the on position, it will continue. With the colored LED, just go ahead and push, and you can go through modes as well. So it goes from brightness down back to dim, and you can do that with all your different settings. And then push, and it cuts it off. There is a strobe setting as well. Side switch, just double click, and you have your strobe setting. And of course that moves from all the different modes. Just go ahead and turn it while it's on. Now that's on IR. We have our red, then we have our white. And then just press and it'll click it off. This is a rubberized push pad, and it's rated up to 300,000 pushes. I thought was pretty impressive. You'll notice the W for white, red, IR, and then blue. Each of those are marked. And then here, they're not marked. But it does have this little toggle right here to be able to know that you're on IR. And IR is the center little lens right here. This is a polycarbonate lens. It is scratch proof. It is what they call unbreakable. So it's really strong. According to Streamlight, this is called the C4 LED. It is a smooth reflector. And there's also information right here on how to manipulate the flashlight. The body has a lot of texturing on it. It's really easy to grab. I mean, it's got good full ribbing, and so it doesn't slip in your hand. Right here, there is a plus sign. That means that the positive goes in this direction. So in low light, you'll know that if you can feel that nub, that the positive goes this way. Now, to change your battery out, just go ahead and turn this little knob, and this will release our end cap, which this is waterproof, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Once you get it off, you have a tether, and this tether is going to hold You're not going to lose this. You can put your AA batteries in here, which the AA batteries were included with this light. And so they go in and then come down. Now, one of the things about this tether, it's rated up to 25 pounds of pressure. So that's going to hold really well. Let me bring it down. You see your O-ring. Just press and then go ahead and close it up. One thing they say too is not to over tighten, because once you get it hand tight, you're good. It'll seal up just fine. You'll also notice the holes right here and here, and of course this is for a lanyard. Of course, you can take paracord, put it through the lanyard holes, works just fine. Now this is a spring steel clip and it will fit any of your belt loops. It's actually just the right width for Molly, but it also has an attachment right here that the U.S. military uses on their helmets. And so this will attach to your helmet or to other mountings to be able just to attach this. This is removable right here, and on the other side you have a threaded hole. Plus you have the little keeper right here that corresponds with the clip. Now the clip can be attached to a regular belt. I can just tack it on here. I'm ready to go. Probably want to put the head up, and I could wear it that way. And then of course easy access if I want to take it off. And it is a nice wide clip, so it's going to retain pretty well onto the belt. But the clip size is also just right to be able to put through MOLLE webbing. So I've got it here. I can go hands-free, turn my light on. That way I can see what I'm doing right here in front of me. Then if I need it, I can just pull it right off. Any of your bags with PALS webbing or MOLLE attachments, I can slip it on and then I'm good to go. Of course, I can take it off and use it, and even set it up on the bag to be able to use. Now on this ball cap, it is a little bit large, definitely, but it can still work. And the weight on it doesn't really weigh your head down. Take it off and use it just like it's intended as a flashlight. The light is 4 3/4 in length, it's 1 3/4 in width, and it's 1 inch at the head as far as depth, and then it goes down to about 3/4, but then with the clip it's really about 1 inch. It weighs 5 ounces with the batteries, and batteries are included. If you want to conserve power, the ultimate is red, and then next is blue, and then again white. Now they do make a version with a green LED, which is for the aviation model. But they make a military version and they make a sportsman's model. The light is rated as IPX7, which means you can submerge it up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. Mission accomplished. And it has a 3-meter impact resistance. These have been tested by the U.S. military, and they are really tough. This thing was shut off a few times throwing it up, but it always came back on. One thing though I do like about the shape is I can just set it down. I mean, it can slide just like that, but typically you don't really have to worry about it sliding as long as you get it still. With a cylindrical type flashlight, it can roll. Very difficult to get that in a place that doesn't roll. So with this, and you can even use it that way. If you find a spot, there you go. Of course, one big test is wearing gloves. Will this work? And of course, we can take our push pad. It's easy enough to do. And then we can set the different modes. That's no problem at all. I mean, this thing's large enough, easy to grip hold of. And then, of course, we can up our lumens. So I think this is really just right for gloved hands. And yeah, the battery cap will come off as well. So I'm not going to take it all the way off, but we can get that on. So even with gross motor skills, you'll be able to use this light effectively. You know, guys, there's a lot of different lights out there, a lot of different applications, a lot of different reasons. And when it comes to the U.S. military, especially with something like this, it's more for utilitarian or close-up engagements. So they're not really looking for really bright lights. With the capability that we have with a tilting head, AA batteries, really reasonable. And you know, the clip is very functional. There's a lot of things you can do with the multiple LED colors that you can use, and the very easy to learn interface. I mean, it is so easy to put this together. There's a lot of lights out there that are larger or smaller, and this to me is a very utilitarian light, perfect for a bug out bag. Obviously, if the U.S. military uses it, it has a lot of experience with finding the right light for survival type situations. And the price, again, is anywhere from $60 to $75. And there are accessories that you can get with this light. There's even a compact version as well. Now it comes in the FDE, and I believe it also comes in an OD green, which figures since it is a U.S. military approved flashlight. Now these lights run anywhere from about $59 up to about $75 or $80 according to the accessories you get and according to what model it is. And you can go over to Lyonstactical to check it out. And again, I appreciate them for sending this light for this test and evaluation. To be honest with you, I've been wanting to get one of these for a good while. And they've been out for a long time. But there's just something really cool about this flashlight. And knowing that the U.S. military uses it, it gives you just a little more confidence. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. On the polymer itself to hang up, right? Okay. You didn't know I was part of the Blue Man group, did you? Yeah. And while on this ball cap, it is a little, now while on this, I don't think I'd make a good devil. This red really doesn't look good on me.